Okay, 8th grade science, lesson 1, opener, about explaining this dinosaur and the fossils that are found in the rocks. They know it's between 66 and 252 million years old. So how do they solve what made this dinosaur extinct? What evidence could scientists use to show that dinosaurs once lived on the earth, but then they have since died out? The fossils that they find can show that the dinosaurs lived on Earth but have died out. This is because the fossils are so far down into the Earth that it tells us when the dinosaurs lived. They could not have lived recently because then they would be on the surface with bones and fossils, but instead they are far down in the dirt. That is how scientists prove when dinosaurs lived and prove that they don't live anymore. Right? That they had to look into the dirt and see, oh, it's this far down. I mean, if dinosaurs were still around, even like 50, 60 years ago, it would be right underneath a layer of grass, not so far down. So they can say that. How might scientists study something they cannot observe directly? Scientists can study the area around something if they are not able to observe it directly. They can study what remains behind after that time period. So basically, it's just saying scientists that could not observe dinosaurs directly, but they can use the soil that's still around. They can still study everything that's still here from that time period. This can help them create a picture of what life was like back then. Okay, in your evidence notebook, you have to gather evidence about how the scientists developed the hypothesis. So it's just giving you information. As soon as you hear about the different dinosaurs and how they became extinct, we're going to be writing those down. We'll go to exploration 1. Identifying the patterns in a fossil record. So it's talking about the mass extinction of the dinosaurs is still a mystery, but there's different types of scientists like geologists, biologists, engineers, and researchers that kind of are working together to try to really find out exactly what happened. The evidence really supports a theory of an asteroid colliding with Earth, but they haven't finalized that theory yet. That's the wonderful thing about science, but there are multiple scientists that are trying to do that. Think about what you want to know about dinosaurs to support an explanation for their extinction. Write 3 or 4 questions that you would ask in search of clues. So I would want to know where dinosaur fossils are found. I would want to know if the ground and area around the fossils shows damage to the earth and clues for what happened. I would want to know if any dinosaurs survived that time and what helped them to live, or any, not dinosaurs, but any other if any plants or animals survive that time and what helped them to live longer than the dinosaurs. So here's the fossil record. It's basically a history of finding these different fossils are left in like rock layers and soil layers. And as time moves on, there's different layers, and you can see they're different colors, they're made up of different materials, and they can build up, and that's how you can kind of tell. So when you look at something like this, it's so obvious that there's 1, 2, 3 layers here. So these are the different ages. So if it's on top, it's super young because we can see it with our eyes. And the further you get down, the older it gets. Okay? It builds up from the bottom up. So the further down you go, that's where you're going to find these dinosaur fossils. They're not going to be on the surface. They're going to be at the very, very bottom. Okay? Most of us know that the dinosaurs are now extinct, which means they died out, all of them, and they are not coming back. It's something where there's zero in the population anymore. Okay, so they want us to use this graph to just kind of learn about marine animals, which is kind of the animals that are in the sea. Okay, which of the following points did a mass extinction occur? So you have to think it's growing, and then what is happening to create an extinction? So we're looking at deep drops, right? So it says 66 million years ago. That's probably this right here. 75, yes. 252, not necessarily. 400, there was a huge drop, so maybe. So those, these two would be the biggest drop. So I'm kind of going off of, even though there was a drop here, they're talking mass extinction, so a huge dip. So let's use these two. To show, so they want us to see that there was an extinction here, but also here based off of the graph. I would argue that the graph could also prove further back, but let's just go with what they're saying. So A and C, so 66 and 252 million years ago, it says that there was a drop both at 66 and 252. There seems to be, let's see how many mass extinction, because I also thought 75 million years ago would count, so let's look. It's really anytime it's going down at a steep angle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7. Seems to be 7 mass extinctions. They can be shown as occurring whenever the line drops down in a steep way. All right, so if the line's dropping down and it's steep, that shows that that's when the mass extinction occurred. So this is them identifying something that's 66 million years old. Wow. All right, Alvarez saw that the fossils below the clay layer, were they or were they not in the layers above? So let's see. He constantly found tiny marine organisms, but in the layer above, there was something completely different. In between the layers, he found a thin layer of clay that had nothing. Okay, so he found a clay layer that was not in the layers above, and eventually determined that the layer marked a mass extinction because there were no organisms in it, right? If there's a thin layer of clay with no fossils at all, that's when the mass extinction occurs. The event happens, and then after that, that's where you have all the fossils. But during the extinction, it's not going to happen. Okay, scientists knew when dinosaurs became extinct, but didn't know if it was suddenly or over time, right? So then you have to figure that out with the clay layer, because the clay layer they figured out was where the mass extinction was. So you have to think about iridium, and I've never heard of iridium until now, but iridium is an element that is really rare, and there's only a small amount falling to Earth. So if there was like a little bit, that means there's like a few years. But if there's a lot of iridium, that means it actually happened over a very long amount of time. So this anomaly is marked by the upper tip of the hammer. So here's iridium. Okay. Which layer might have dinosaur fossils and which doesn't? So if this is iridium, remember the layers, I would say that this dot is closest to that. So may have dinosaur fossils and definitely does not have dinosaur fossils. Okay, the layers are important to keep a straight layer. Supernova was the exploding star. That's what we felt like created the Earth and actually gave us these higher levels, but clay layers does not contain higher than normal levels of plutonium. So this is another hypothesis about the Earth. So think about the three hypotheses, and then you can interview each other about them. How are they identified? So it says, how can an extinction be identified? How can a scientist determine when a species of dinosaur lived on Earth? The scientist can look at the layers of earth and rock. Wherever the fossil is, that is the time when the animal died. So if the fossils are in the layers by the 66 million years ago clay marker, you know the animals died a little more than 66 million years ago. Right? That's what it's saying. All right. And then so exploration 2, we're gathering evidence about asteroids. When it collides with the moon, it leaves the craters. So when we look at the moon and we look at craters, that's an asteroid that hit it. Okay, so you can see the crater right here. So craters, bigger craters mean larger asteroids. Let's see, they said asteroids or meteorites. Asteroids or meteorites collided with it. There's no life and movement on the moon, so the craters are easy to spot and don't change. Okay. The crater is deeper and there's fewer of them. Many don't make it past the Earth's atmosphere. It also has dirt move and change around it because there's a lot of life on Earth and activity. So they're the same because they both, you can see that there's craters, there's indents, it's definitely asteroids and meteorites colliding with it, but it's easier to see on the moon because there's not that life and different things moving around to kind of disturb the dirt where the crater was. Okay, so now they actually have the Yucatan Peninsula has that huge crater that we're talking about. They made observations and looked at it. There's a crater in Mexico that they looked at the most because it had a lot of strength and direction, and studied the different rocks and quartz that happened when it was hit. So you could see that there was a ground zero, but you can't see it any longer unless you use magnetic data because it has kind of the dirt has gone over it. But they know that there was a crater there because they can use other types of data. But this was where they actually think that maybe the mass extinction asteroid collided and went to, because it was around the Gulf of Mexico and the planet. But you can actually see right here that they have shocked quartz and different minerals that have